Hello, my 2nd through 5th grade leaders. Welcome. This week we are on January week number 4 as we are talking about Jesus being tempted in the desert. And as he's tempted in the desert, he actually brings out truths from the Bible to combat the lies of the devil. And so we're going to be really diving into the story. I think it's going to be a really good story for our children to learn and how to combat those lies of the devil that they will experience in real life. And so this one, remember that we are connecting, studying, and praying, right? So connecting with them, just getting to know them, getting to know their weeks, some of their interests, some of the interests about you, all of that. Then we're studying together, right? And as we study together, we're opening the Bibles, we're figuring all of that out, and we are diving into the Bible stories. And then we're praying together. And so prayer is a really good and big, important step in our walk with the Lord and understanding how to connect these children to the Lord directly. And so definitely be doing those 3 things each week. Now, remember also next week, we do not have any elementary services. Everyone will be in the big service with their parents as we experience baptism together. And so we're going to have a lot of fun watching our peers and whatnot get baptized. And so please celebrate with us as we do that. Now, this first activity, what we're doing is we're going to have a deck of cards and you're just going to ask them, hey, what's something new that you learned this week? And while you do that, you're sorting out these cards. And if you have a big group, you can go 2 different groups. But you're going to play a memory matching game. And so basically with this deck of cards, you're going to have, if you have 2 groups, you'll split them out 1 through 5 and then 6 through 10 in the cards. And you'll go ahead and take out the ace, king and queen and jack and all of that. But then you're going to shuffle them up and have them lay them out and then play a memory matching game to see if they can figure out and find a match. Now in this one, just for time's sake and whatnot, if they do get a match, go ahead and move on to the next child. Don't let them go ahead and keep going if they do find a match, just because it'll go a little faster if you don't. And if you have everyone all together and you don't have enough to split up into 2 groups to do this memory game, then you can just play all of the cards 1 through 10 and do it that way. And this next one, what you're going to do is you're going to have some beads and you're going to have something to cover the beads. Okay, so we have like a piece of cardstock or a bandana or something in there for you. And basically what you're doing with these beads is they're all different colors. So you'll lay them out in a sequence and then you're going to have all the children look at it for like 5 seconds, cover it up, and then you're going to kind of distract them with something and then see if they remember the different sequence of the beads that was actually correct under there. So you can cover it up with a thing and then have them guess and then see if they got it right. So that one is about just remembering what is true, right? So we're talking about remembering the different memory game and remembering just the different beads. All of that goes back to Jesus remembered in the desert when he was hungry, tired, all of that. He remembered the true words of the Lord and how he could use those against the devil. Then this next activity after you go through the large group stuff, what we're going to do is we're going to go through the discussion questions and stuff. And so go through that Bible story together with the children, go through the discussion questions with them, all of that. I want you to really try to hone in on that time right after large group to really get them into the Bible study part of it before you really go on to the games. If they are super squirrely and you just can't get them to sit down, then of course do one of the games instead. But try to take that time right after large group to really focus in on the discussion questions and get them in the mindset of, okay, now let's break this down and understand it a little further. Then after your discussion questions, you'll have after video activity 1, what you're doing is you're basically doing a human tug of war, okay? And so it's like a human line, then everyone's going in different directions. So what you're doing, you're gonna tape 2 different lines on the ground, maybe about, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 foot from where they're standing. So have them all lined up in a line. Then you have a piece of tape in front of them and a piece of tape behind them, both exactly about the same size or distance apart. Then you're going to number off your children. So like Johnny is facing this way, and then the next person next to Johnny, they're going to face the opposite direction. Then the next person next to that person is going to face this direction, and so on and so forth. So there should be 2 different directions that children are facing. There should be an even number of children facing each way, basically. Then what you're going to do is have them all link arms, and on the count of 3, you're going to have them start going forward. And the problem is the people next to them are going the opposite direction, but then it's going to be a competition on who which team actually gets to their line and wins that way. So that'll be a really fun one. But that one is a lot about the different choices that we make or the things that we come up across. It sometimes feels really hard to go the correct way or do it the right way, but go ahead and ask those different questions that are at the bottom of this page as well. So like, what can influence the choices that you make? What makes it hard to make the wise choice, and what helps you actually make that wise choice, right? So those different things are like the visualization of sometimes it's hard to make the wise choice, or we feel like we're going against the grain, but it is always a good idea to make that wise choice, is the big idea that we're going for there. Okay, this next one, you're going to have some different cups and some post-it notes. And what they're doing on the post-it notes is basically writing down things that they have learned recently, okay? So good things, hopefully, that they've learned. And what they're doing with this is they're going to write those different things on the cups. And then they're going to post those things on the cups. You can also do this from the Take the Snapshot activity. But basically, for some ideas and whatnot, they're going to line up all the cups. They have the sticky notes on them. Then you're going to have a balloon. And with this balloon, they're going to blow up the balloon, and then they're going to knock down all the different distractions that come from making the wise choice, okay? So if you want, you can actually just do the post-it notes as distractions instead of different things that they've learned. Up to you on how you want to spin that. But basically, what they're trying to do is knock down all the distractions of, the obstacles of learning the new thing or making the wise choice is what you're looking at there, okay? Then you'll have this corner bookmark instructions. Basically, they're just going to make a little bookmark type of thing. But with this, go through these instructions with the children, have them make their own. They can decorate it and stuff as well. But what they're doing with this is God knows everything because God is the creator of everything, right? So he's given us the Bible and the Holy Spirit to help us follow Jesus and make those wise choices. So as you're doing these bookmarks, you're going to have them decorated in ways that they can make that wise choice. So you'll do it with the Proverbs 2:6 memory verse that we're working on. So have them go ahead and make this, and then they can draw or write that memory verse on there and then decorate it however they want to do that, okay? And then they can obviously take that home, but have them also write the bottom line on there if they have room. Remembering what is true can help you make the wise choice, because that's what it's all about. And then, of course, you're going to pray. And so definitely have those little cards. You can also use sticky notes if you've been doing that the past couple of weeks, or you can just do it for fun. But basically, they're writing sticky notes on like, okay, what did you learn today, right? Or what is something that you learned this week about God? And so those things, you can have them write them on sticky notes. Then you can obviously have them write prayer requests on sticky notes as well, and then pray over those things. And that's it for this week, guys. Thank you so much for all that you guys do, and we will see you guys in a little bit.